In the archives of history, few tales can rival the epic story of the Mongol Empire, a colossus that stretched across continents, forged by the iron will of nomadic warriors and the visionary leadership of one man, Genghis Khan. However, behind all the triumphs and legendary warriors lies a story of intrigue, betrayal, and the inevitable march of time. But let's start from the beginning. Long before the rise of the Mongol Empire, the Mongol tribes lived as semi-nomadic pastoralists on the Central Asian steppes. They were organized into tribes and clans, with leadership based on kinship and value. Known for their horse riding and warfare skills, they practiced shamanism and relied on herding for survival. Relations between tribes ranged from cooperation to conflict, shaping their society and culture. The timeline of the Mongol Empire is a rich history of conquests, expansion, and eventual decline, starting from the early 13th until the 15th century. It all began in 1206 when Genghis Khan, born as Temujin, united the fractious Mongol tribes under his leadership and was declared as the supreme ruler. This crucial moment laid the foundation for the creation of the Mongol Empire, marking the beginning of a new era in Eurasian history. But the rise of Genghis Khan to power was not without its challenges. Born into the Mongol tribe of Borjigin in 1162, Temujin experienced a childhood marked by poverty and hardship. Following the murder of his father, he embarked on a mission to unify the Mongol tribes under his guidance. Through a combination of military skill, political acumen, and strategic alliances, Temujin rose to fame and was declared Genghis Khan, meaning universal ruler, by a council of Mongol chiefs in 1206. His leadership was characterized by advanced military tactics, including the effective use of cavalry and psychological warfare, which enabled the Mongols to quickly overcome their rivals. In the early 13th century, Genghis Khan embarked on a series of military campaigns to expand the empire's territory and consolidate his power. These initial campaigns saw the Mongols clash with neighboring tribes and clans in Mongolia before expanding into China. The defeat of the Western Xia and Jin dynasties marked the beginning of Mongol supremacy in the region, laying the foundation for further expansion into China. However, the death of Genghis Khan in 1227 marked a significant turning point in the history of the Mongol Empire. After his death, the empire was divided among his sons and grandsons, leading to a period of internal conflict and succession disputes. Despite these challenges, the Mongol Empire continued its expansion under the new heirs. Notable among these successors was Ögedei Khan, the third son of Genghis Khan, who succeeded him as the Great Khan. His reign marked a period of expansion and union for the Mongol Empire. He continued his father's policies of conquest, overseeing campaigns that expanded Mongol territory into Russia, Eastern Europe, and Central Asia. He was also known for his administrative reforms, which helped to stabilize and rule the empire. Under his leadership, the Mongol Empire reached its peak in terms of territorial extent and power. In the mid-13th century, the Mongol Empire expanded into Eastern Europe under the leadership of Batu Khan, Genghis Khan's grandson. Batu Khan led the Golden Horde, a Mongol Khanate that would dominate the region for centuries to come. The Mongol invasion of Rus principalities ended with the defeat of Kiev in 1240 and the establishment of the Golden Horde in Russia. Ögedei Khan's reign lasted until his death in 1241, after which he was succeeded by his son Guyuk Khan, who became the third great Khan of the Mongol Empire. This new reign was marked by internal conflicts and power struggles within the Mongol ruling family. There were many challenges from opposing parties, including Guyuk Khan's cousins and other relatives. During his brief reign, he attempted to assert his authority and consolidate power by launching military campaigns and implementing administrative reforms. However, his rule was stained by accusations of tyranny and cruelty, and he faced disapproval from various factions within the Mongol Empire. Guyuk Khan's reign came to an abrupt end with his death in 1248. The exact circumstances surrounding his death are still a subject of historical debate and speculation, with some suggestions pointing to poisoning. Despite the short period as Great Khan, his reign had a lasting impact on the stability and internal dynamics of the Mongol Empire, setting the stage for further power struggles and succession disputes in the years to come. Following Guyuk Khan's death, his widow Ogul Khaimish took control of the Mongol Empire as temporary replacement until a new Great Khan could be elected. After a period of internal chaos and power struggles, Mongol Khan, another grandson of Genghis Khan, was elected as the fourth Great Khan. Mongol Khan's reign lasted from 1251 until his death in 1259 and was marked by further expansion of the Mongol Empire. He played a significant role in extending Mongol influence into the Middle East and Europe, continuing the policies of conquest introduced by his ancestors. One of the most noteworthy events in the history of the Mongol Empire occurred in 1258, when Mongol forces occupied Baghdad. This conquest marked the end of the Abbasid Caliphate and the establishment of the Ilkhanate in Persia. The Mongols, under the leadership of Hulagu Khan, captured Baghdad in 1258 after a prolonged siege that lasted several months. The siege was part of Hulagu's wider campaign to conquer the Islamic lands of the Middle East, as ordered by his brother, the Great Khan Mongke. Using advanced military tactics and a diverse army comprising Mongol warriors and auxiliary troops, they overcame the city's defenses, which were already weakened by internal divisions within the Abbasid Caliphate. Following the fall of Baghdad, the Mongols plundered and destroyed much of the city's cultural and architectural heritage. The capture of Baghdad marked the end of the Abbasid Caliphate and introduced Mongol rule over Mesopotamia, reshaping the political and cultural landscape of the Middle East. After Mongke Khan's death in 1259, the Mongol Empire faced a period of succession disagreements. Mongke's brother, Kublai Khan, eventually emerged victorious and became the fifth great Khan of the Mongol Empire in 1260. In 1271, he established the Yuan dynasty in China after consolidating his power and authority over the region. But it wasn't until 1279 that the Mongol forces under his leadership finally defeated the southern Song dynasty. This allowed for the full establishment of the Yuan dynasty and the complete unification of China under Mongol rule, which led to Kublai Khan becoming the first non-native ruler to conquer all of China. However, Kublai Khan's rise to power marked a significant division within the Mongol Empire, as he ruled from the newly founded capital of Dadu, the present-day Beijing. While Kublai Khan was recognized as the Great Khan by some factions within the Mongol Empire, other branches of the family continued to dispute his authority. This eventually led to the fragmentation of the empire into separate Khanates by the late 14th century. The Khanates were each ruled by different branches of Genghis Khan's descendants. These successor states, including the Golden Horde, the Ilkhanate, the Chagatai Khanate, and the Yuan dynasty, operated semi-autonomously and often competed with each other for power and resources. By the early 15th century, the once powerful Mongol Empire had effectively ceased to exist as a unified political entity, although its cultural and historical legacy continued to live in the regions it had once ruled. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to discover more thrilling stories from the past.